Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Adina. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I usually do these new moon, full moon videos a little bit different. Well, with this new moon in Taurus, I am deciding to start something new. And so in this new moon video, I will be pulling up the chart to go through all of the energy with you for the first portion of this video. And then for the second portion, I will be getting into all 12 rising signs. That way you're able to see how this energy is showing up for you more personally, the house, the themes, the topics that will be coming up for review. So let's get into the energy of this new moon. Now, before I pull up the chart, I want you to realize, actually, the time I'm posting this, I just remembered I can't use Mercury retrograde as an excuse anymore for not being able to talk, because today, as I'm posting this video, Mercury stations direct. I don't know if Mercury is direct yet. I have to check my chart, but today, Sunday, on the 14th of May, Mercury does station direct. So I can no longer use Mercury retrograde as an excuse for not being able to speak. Okay, so also, I want you to be aware, not even be aware, but this is the first lunation that we are having in Taurus that is not going to be an eclipse since like the past year, since February of 2022, when the North Node entered Taurus. Every new moon or full moon we had since then, well, actually it was fall of 2021 when we had the very first, I think it was the first eclipse in Taurus, which was the precursor eclipse to the nodes shifting. So it's been quite a while since we've had a lunation in Taurus that has not been an eclipse. So this is going to feel different than most of the new moons and the full moons, or since the last couple of new moons we've had. The last new moon we've had in Taurus anyways. But yeah, anyways, I wanted to put that out there that this will be the first lunation in a while that we will be having without an eclipse. So now let's pull up the chart. So here is the chart for our new moon in Taurus. So as you can see right here, the date is May 19th, 2023. It is on a Friday, and this is the time. And so you can change the time for your time zone. I'm here in Canada. So yeah, just change the time. It's at 20. This new moon is happening at 28 degrees and 25 minutes of Scorpio, Taurus. Okay. So let's get into the energy. This new moon is in Taurus. And so what are some Taurus themes and topics? Money, finances, material possessions, everything we need to feel safe, secure, our resources. And so because this new moon is at the 28-degree point, which is the last degrees of Taurus, this has to do with a lot of endings in these areas, but also because it's a new moon, it's beginnings. And so a new moon always really is major endings, major beginnings. Not major, those are eclipses, but endings and beginnings of cycles. So please bear with me. I think this Mercury stationing, and there we go, blaming Mercury. Mercury is my chart ruler. And so when whatever Mercury is doing in the sky really does affect me. But anyways, so the new moon is at 28 degrees. And Taurus has a lot to do. I have my notes here. So Taurus also has to do with our values, our self-worth, how we even approach money, how we use money, our attitude towards money. And so these are a lot of the topics that are being reworked and reprogrammed. At 28 degrees, this is also having a lot to do with our collective way of the digital currency, the money systems. And so there is a lot of energy around Taurus themes. We now have Jupiter in Taurus. Here is Jupiter at 0 degrees of Taurus. And so at this point, Jupiter will already be in Taurus, amplifying this energy. Also, we have this new moon forming a sextile to Mars in Cancer. And Mars is at the last degree of Cancer. And so Mars is sick of being in Cancer. Mars cannot express itself in Cancer. So however, this is a really beautiful supportive energy to take action in whatever it is that is showing up for you at this time, especially when it has to do with reprogramming your values, your money, like whatever it is that's going on new in your life around money, financial systems, your values, even your beliefs. And so this beautiful sextile is bringing in opportunity in order to take action to these next steps. There is also a sextile to Neptune in Pisces. And so this new moon is working with the Cancer area of your chart, the Pisces area of your chart, and then Taurus. And then, of course, if you have any planets or points in the fixed signs that are around this 20-degree point, it will also be activating that. It will be an opposition or a square. And so the fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So this new moon is also forming a trine to Pluto. Pluto is at 0 degrees, so it's this out of sign. It's actually almost, yeah, it's a trine to Pluto. So because it's in the 0 degree, if it was up here at the 29th degree of Aquarius, it would be a square. It technically, it's not a sign based trine, but because it's only 2 degrees away, it's more of a degree based trine. It's still effective. And so whatever's going on, so this new moon is also activating this Pluto energy here with this T-square to the nodes. And we also have, there's a lot of energy around that, right? If you haven't checked out my video on the T-square between Pluto, Mars, and Jupiter, check that out. I posted that a couple of days ago. And so this new moon is also kind of activating that because the new moon is sextiling Mars, but also activating also with this trine to Pluto. And so this is even alleviating that energy a little bit because the new moon is bringing in new fresh energy. A sextile and a trine is positive energy. A sextile is opportunity. A trine is this easy flowing, beautiful energy, supportive energy coming in. And so we're at this time, which May 20th, Mars is going to enter Leo, which is going to hit this T-square exact, which is going to be a difficult energy. Once the sun moves into Gemini, it alleviates it a little bit, but this new moon is still, it's adding to this story. It's adding to whatever story you're going through personally with this T-square. And also there's this Grand Cross with the nodes. And so where we have this T-square here with Jupiter, there's also a Grand Cross energy with the nodes because as you can see, it's like a grand square. And so this new moon is activating that energy, but it's really bringing in this new supportive energy to help guide us, to bring us support in whatever it is that we are moving through. And so whatever you are moving through in these areas of life, whatever is showing up for you at this time, the new moon is bringing in some beautiful supportive energy for that. And it's really working with the Mars, it's working with this Pluto, and it's also working with Neptune. So let's talk about the new moons forming a sextile to Neptune. This sextile here with Neptune can really bring in some beautiful opportunity and supportive energy when it comes to your spiritual practices, and then also the Pisces area of your chart. So if you have any planets or points at these degrees, this is a time where with Neptune, there can be illusion, delusion, escapism, but because it is a sextile, which can be a supportive energy, it can really bring an opportunity. This is a time where you may find that you are really able to tap into your intuition, where if there is something you're moving through at this time, you can tap into this energy to really bring in some intuitive guidance, tap into the universal energies, tap into your intuitive knowingness to bring in this internal guidance. So this new moon I find is beautiful for really bringing in new energy when it comes to our values, our self-worth, our self-love, our resources, and really being able to ground that energy in. And so where Taurus is an earth sign, with the energy of Taurus, we have this beautiful supportive energy to really ground things in. And so whatever it is that you are moving through at this time, whatever you are working with, this is beautiful energy to bring in and to utilize that can be supportive in grounding in whatever it is that you are trying to start, whatever you are moving into. Collectively, like I said at the beginning of this video, this really has a lot to do with our financial systems. I think we will hear a lot at this time, not just because of this new moon activation, but there's a lot of other planetary activations at this time that has to do with our money, our finances, our resources, housing. And so we are moving through a lot of this energy at this time. Astrology, the degree points, the 0 degree points signifies something new, and the last degree point signifies endings of cycles, something closing out. And so where it's a new moon, where it's about planting seeds, planting intentions, there is endings here of something, and it really has to do with, I think, the way we approach money, finances, how we work with our money and finances, our self-worth and self-value, our resources, because it is Taurus. So these are just things to keep in mind around this time through May, June. And if you watch my videos, you will see I go into this energy a lot in my other videos. But there's a lot of changes taking place with digital currency. They want to abolish cash. There are some places where cash has become actually illegal. I think it might be in the UK where they are implementing that. Don't quote me because I'm not too sure. But it is something that they are wanting to do. So there's a lot of energy of closing out how we work with our resources and our money, and starting brand new ways of doing that. And really, you should really do your own research when around what we're going through with the money and the digital currency, because there is a lot to that we should be aware of. I don't want to get into it too much in this video, but definitely do your own research, educate yourself. Don't believe everything you hear. Do your own research, and at the end of the day, with what you're watching, does it feel right? What is your intuition telling you? Your intuitive guidance and your intuitive knowing is the strongest sense you have. So developing that, working on that can definitely help in guiding through these murky times. So this is the energy of the chart that I really wanted to go over. If you have any questions or, anything at all, put it in the comments below. Again, you want to know if you have any personal points or personal planets around the 28 degree point of Aquarius or any of the fixed signs, because you will feel this more intensely. So thank you so much for joining me. Let me know what you thought about how I pulled up the chart. Do you prefer me going over the energy of the charts, or do you like the audio versions? I love the audio versions. I have a lot of energy in the 12th house, so I'm supposed to do a lot behind the scenes, but I also have a lot of energy where I am supposed to be communicating and putting information and stuff and helping and guiding the public, the collective. So I don't know. That was a bit of a rant. Anyways, what do you think about this? And also, what do you want from me? I do a lot of astrology content, and I always put up weekly videos. I go over major astrological events. I go over the new moon and the full moon. I'm thinking about doing weekly horoscopes. This is something I'm feeling very strongly that I actually might implement with this new moon in Taurus. So let me know what you think. Now let's get into all 12 rising signs, which will be audio. So now let's get into all 12 rising signs. And thank you so much for joining me, and I will connect with you in the next one. Aries, this new moon will really be activating your second house. You have Taurus in the second house, and so this new moon is at 28 degrees of Taurus, which is activating your money, your finances, how you make money, your material possessions, and also your self-worth, your self-value. Venus is the dispositor of this new moon, and Venus is in Cancer, which is in your fourth house of home, family, property. And so there may be a lot of focus around this time when it has to do with your money, your home, maybe the money you were putting into your home or money around your home. And so there is a lot of focus here of endings and beginnings when it has to do with how you are making money, your finances, your material possessions, and also reworking and reprogramming your self-worth, your self-value. Taurus, you have this new moon happening in your first house, and the first house represents you, your personality, your character, your physical body, how you view this physical reality. And so this new moon is really bringing in new, fresh energy to support you on this self-discovery journey that maybe you have been starting or thinking about or really moving through. So this energy can be really beautiful, Taurus. Now the dispositor of this new moon is Venus, and you have Venus in your third house in Cancer. And so the third house can represent local travel, vehicles, community, neighbors. And so this can be a time where this new moon is also activating you, connecting with your community or getting back into your community as a part of helping you and supporting you in this new self-discovery journey. Gemini, you have this new moon happening in your 12th house. The 12th house represents spirituality, karma, past lives, your subconscious, also places that are hidden like jails, asylums, retreat centers, and just the 12th house can also represent self-undoing. I really feel though, Gemini, that this new moon is going to be activating something that has to do with your spirituality, or really just ending and completing and beginning new karmic cycles, where there's an ending and completing of karmic cycles, but like the beginning of something new and beautiful. This can also be a time where you are really diving into your spirituality, maybe even taking some time out away from the world in order to do so. Now, the dispositor of this new moon is Venus, and you have Venus in your second house, which represents your finances, your money, your material possessions, and also your values. So there is a connection and a story here taking place where there is a supportive energy between the 12th and the second house, where your finances or your values are coming up, and this can really be supporting you in whatever venture you are doing with your spirituality, whether it is connecting the two, maybe making money with your spirituality, your spiritual practices, maybe doing something with that to make money. And this is all about beginnings. It's a new moon. So it's quite beautiful, Gemini. Cancer, you have this new moon happening in your 11th house of friendships. So friendships, online connections, groups, social groups, humanitarian pursuits, also your hopes and your dreams. Now, Venus is the dispositor of this new moon, and Venus is currently in Cancer and will be in Cancer at the time of this new moon. And so Venus is in your first house. This is really beautiful and supportive energy for creating beautiful connections, beautiful friendships that are truly in alignment with you. And you may even find that around this time, you have a lot of people coming into your life that are in alignment with you and who you are now. You may also even be developing or redeveloping friendships and reconnecting with people that are already in your life, but that may have been estranged. You may not have connected with them in a long time. These people may be coming back into your life. And so this is really beautiful supportive energy for starting brand new friendships and brand new connections with people that are in alignment with you. Leo, you have this new moon happening in your 10th house of career, public reputation, and the legacy that you leave behind after your working years. And so this new moon can really be bringing in some new fresh energy around your career, your work, or even there's definitely supportive energy here where possibly the work or your career, there can be something new coming in, or maybe there's energy around shifting and changing your career in some way. Venus is the dispositor of this new moon, and Venus is in Cancer, which is in your 12th house of spirituality, isolation, places that are hidden, also karma. And so with Venus being in the 12th house, This can be where maybe you have felt like you don't that since the 12th house represents isolation, you could really be feeling like you're just not really wanting to connect to people right now. However, this is beautiful supportive energy that if you were feeling like you really wanted to create a business or start working within your spiritual practice, doing something, creating a spiritual business, you definitely have the energy here to support that. Virgo, you have this new moon in Taurus happening in your ninth house. The ninth house represents long distance travel, higher education, higher knowing, wisdom, your belief systems. And so this new moon can really be activating energy around belief systems, maybe reprogramming your belief systems in some way. The dispositor of this new moon is Cancer, the dispositor of this new moon is Venus, which is in Cancer, which is in your 11th house. And so there is beautiful supportive energy here between your 11th house and your 9th house. And your 11th house represents your friendships, social groups, online connections. And so there may be something here that is really pushing you towards putting something online, whether it has to do with your belief systems or even traveling with friends. There's beautiful supportive energy here working together between your 11th house of friendships, social groups, online connections, and your 9th house of higher knowing, long distance travel, and belief systems. Libra, you have this new moon happening in your 8th house, and your 8th house represents money coming in from outside resources, your partner's finances, also taxes, inheritance. The 8th house can also represent psychological healing, and so this new moon can really be bringing in some new, fresh energy around if you are trying to get money from some type of outside resources, maybe getting a loan, or if you are currently doing some type of psychological healing, this energy could be extremely supportive in that area. Now, the dispositor of this new moon is Venus, and Venus is currently in Cancer, which is your 10th house. And so there is this beautiful supportive energy between the 10th house and the 8th house. And so the 10th house represents your work and your career. So there may be this opportunity that arises around your work that is helping you receive money coming in from outside resources or even your partner's finances. Scorpio, you have this new moon happening in your 7th house of relationships, partnerships, close personal connections. And so this new moon can really be bringing in some nice energy around your connections, maybe feeling like you want to reconnect to those who are in alignment with you. Now, the dispositor of this new moon is Venus, and Venus is in Cancer. Cancer is your 9th house. And so there's this really beautiful supportive energy between the 7th house and the 9th house where maybe you and your partner are deciding to go on a trip or do some traveling. This is also a time where you may be diving into some higher knowing with your partner. Or even maybe because the 9th house can represent belief systems, maybe these new belief systems that you have taken on has reconnected you or developed or bringing new people into your life that are in alignment with you. So either way, this new moon is really having you focus on your partnerships, your relationships, and all your close personal connections. Sagittarius, you have this new moon happening in your 6th house of work, health, and daily routine. And so this new moon can be bringing in some energy around your health, around your daily routine, maybe wanting to switch up your nutrition routine or implement maybe yoga or working out or something along the lines of your health, or even switching up your daily routine in some way. Now, this new moon, the dispositor of this new moon is Venus, and Venus is in Cancer, which is in your 8th house. And so there may even be something here. The 8th house represents money coming in from outside resources, and the 6th house really also represents work. And so there could be this supportive energy of money coming in with working and receiving money coming in from outside resources, which is switching up your daily routine in some way. And so this new moon in Taurus can really be starting a brand new cycle for you in these areas of life. Capricorn, you have this new moon happening in your 5th house of play, pleasure, passions, your creativity. So this new moon can be bringing in fresh energy when it has to do with what you truly love, want, and desire. Getting back into what you're truly passionate about, diving into your creativity in some way. The dispositor of this new moon is Venus, and Venus is in Cancer, which is in your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. So this can be you and your partner really being passionate, really becoming passionate and bringing the passion back into the relationship, or meeting somebody new, meeting somebody that is in alignment with you, and then the passion is just there. The sparks are flying. So this energy is really beautiful, Capricorn, and this energy is very supportive for meeting someone new that is extremely passionate. There's passion. That's really all that's coming to me. And so Capricorn, you really have a lot of energy here for meeting new people, getting passionate, diving back into what you truly love, want, and desire, and all those pleasures of life. Aquarius, you have this new moon happening in your 4th house of home, family, property. And so this new moon can really be bringing in some fresh energy around your home, or having you focus on your home in some way, maybe focusing on moving or doing some renovating around the house, focusing more on family. The dispositor of this new moon is Venus, and Venus is currently in Cancer, which is in your 6th house of work, health, and daily routine. So there is this beautiful supportive energy between the 4th house and the 6th house, where maybe you and your family are starting new routines, maybe getting back out in nature, starting some type of new daily routine, health routine. This can also be a time where maybe you are starting to work from home, because the 6th house does represent work, and with that with that connection to the 4th house, maybe you are starting to work more from home. So this really is nice supportive energy, Aquarius. Pisces, you have this new moon happening in your 3rd house of your local community, your neighbors, local travel, also siblings, cousins. And so this new moon can really be bringing in some new fresh energy around those themes and topics, maybe even your vehicles. The 3rd house also has to do with communicating, publishing, speaking, writing. And so this can really be you diving back into those themes and topics. Now, the dispositor of this new moon is Venus, and Venus is in Cancer, which is in your 5th house of creativity, what you're passionate about. And so this is really beautiful supportive energy for diving into your creativity, maybe publishing, speaking, writing, journaling, poetry, anything that really has to do with your creativity and writing and speaking about it. You have this beautiful supportive energy there to do so.